is that some people, as you evolve and awaken, it becomes very lonely, very depressing, very just unorthodox. I wish I had some water in here. Ooh, I don't. Becomes very unorthodox, very just unsatisfying. Now, with that being said, I go through it too, where like there are times where I'm like, oh, I wish evolving and awakening wasn't so depressing. I wish that sometimes I don't know, I had people to talk to that were on my vibrational frequency. Um, yeah, these are concepts that do come to mind. There's a factoring of being yourself, which I want to go towards heavily. Just to never not be yourself, to always be true to yourself about who you are, about what things you've gone through, what things are compared to what things aren't. To always be yourself about these factors, literally. Because in all honesty, bring the camera up more, closer to me. In all honesty, when it comes down to it, right? I went through a lot of factors where I wasn't really honest to myself. But through my awakening, my evolution, I've become more and more honest to myself about what things are and what things aren't. Like there's times where it's like you're around friends, right? And you they're not on your frequency, your vibrations at all. They're not on that level that you're at, and it's like you want to continue being friends with these individuals, but can't really be yourself around them, right? And to me, I went through it myself. I go through it myself at times, but I just decided to stay away from people like that. It's difficult. It can be difficult, yes, but same account, it's like, hey, what's best for you? Honestly speaking, right? Would you rather have to hide and sneak within yourself and just kind of just, it's like being a stranger in your own skin in a sense. It's like, like being a stranger in your own skin. It's like, for example, when I first started to awaken and evolve, and I had my abilities come about, right? And I'd be feeling all these things, all these empathic abilities, feeling people's emotions and like embodying their literal emotions. So if someone was feeling some sort of way, I'd be feeling the same. I'd be feeling exactly what they're feeling. I'd be going through the exact same thoughts as them to a certain degree. Literally, there was a time where my ex, we were on FaceTime one night, and she was like, did you just hang out with someone so and so, like two people like last night? Like who'd you hang out? Like she said, did you hang out with this person, that person last night? And I was like, yeah, why? And she said, because you're acting really different. And I didn't know that I absorbed their energy. So basically, because I absorbed their energy, and they're both vampire. They're both two of the individuals are both energy vampires and narcissistic, manipulative as hell, literally. Um, that's literally what happened. That my entity would change, literally. I noticed that happening more frequently than when I look back to my past, I noticed it happening a lot. And the more I evolved and awakened, the more my abilities became more prominent, the more I kind of tried to I stopped hiding. Because I figured, let me be myself. Because being myself is the best, most amazing thing I can do. I don't like hiding what I can do. I don't like hiding that I can hear entities talking to me, high ass frequencies almost all the fucking time, literally. I don't like hiding the concept of, oh yeah, astral travel. I'm about to astral project soon too. I don't like hiding the fact that yeah, I do rituals. Yeah, I have my stones. Yeah, my stones are like my family. They're literally part of my family. Like my stones, my crystals, all the sorts. Like literally, yeah. I can speak to higher entities, my higher self. I, my guardians. I can use telepathy to high degrees. Yeah, I won't hide any of this shit. I won't hide any of it from anyone because it's the truth. Now sometimes there's the feelings of okay, if I hide, I'll be accepted. But it's like, is that really how you want to be accepted? Really? Should there really be a factoring of being accepted at the same time? I look at it as I'd rather be myself and find people like myself than try to be in the contemplative factorization of, hey, I want to be accepted. I stopped going towards those prefixes, those pretenses in general. I stopped going towards those factors. Why? Because they're irrelevant to me. They're trivial. When it comes down to it, when it truly comes down to it, they don't matter at all. They never did. They never have. Literally, being accepted used to mean a lot to me. It did. But then the more I awakened to a higher sense of awareness, I stopped giving a damn about it. Why? Because I look at it as, why want to be accepted when you can just accept yourself and accept others for who they are in general. Don't look for acceptance. Be the one who accepts, or just be be you. Be who you are. Don't go towards okay, this person accepts me, that person accepts me, this person tolerates me, that person tolerates me. I feel at peace with this person, I feel at peace with that person, or any of those concepts. Yes, feeling at peace with someone is a thing. Yes, when it comes down to it, I guess always be true to yourself and never seek validation from anyone else. Literally, I went through that a lot, especially with my abilities. I went through that a lot, and kind of like I know very recently, I noticed how I kind of want a lollipop right now. I can't lie about it. I noticed how what I was chilling with, not chilling. My bad. I was hanging around 3 friends because I was trying to make sure like my dog didn't really kill them, or rather, I was trying to make sure he didn't bite anyone. You know. Mm. And we were outside. It was nice and sunny. I had my little Stitch onesie on, and I was talking to the guy's girl, and I noticed that while conversing with her, I could feel her energy and just tell that like she wasn't there. Psychologically, she wasn't there. Spiritually either. She wasn't there at all. It was very, and like I was saying to her, I was saying, yeah, I can't really. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not really afraid of driving, but I'm kind of afraid of driving. But like, cause I don't drive yet, mind you. But it was more so the factoring of, it's not that I'm afraid of driving. Like I see my synopsis was, hey, it's like driving a death machine. You're literally in a death machine, literally. And but the true reason is because like I'm not from here. I'm not. So and I mean no human really is from here. We're all just going through the human experience, but it's like sometimes you're so in depth, you're so intact with who you like, where you came from, who you used to be. Like you've all your past lives, all you've understanding of like your original, where your soul originally came from, like the planet, the place where you originally came from, where you originally developed, right? And so, to me, I'm looking at it like it's not that I'm afraid. It's just the concept of it's just foreign to me. Driving is foreign to me. Like a vehicle, I understand the vehicle. I understand vehicles and all. I do. But when it comes to me in the driver's seat, it's like a panic mode because I'm just not used to it at all. I've tried. I've tried driving, I have. And it just gives me a very just unorthodox sensation. Honestly speaking, I don't like it at all. I really feel uncomfortable when I'm in the driver's seat. I really feel comfortable to a certain degree. I don't like it. Um, and I couldn't even tell her that. I had to ask her boyfriend, one of my friends. I was like, "Yo, bro," because mind you, even though the friend isn't even on my vibration, even though he isn't even on my vibrational frequency, I love when like you start to say these like words, right, and like you kind of like it's like a tongue twister. Then I asked him, I was like, "Yo, is she you know, these are my words. I'm like, you know what I'm about, bro. You know what I talk about. Is she like? Can I discuss this? Can I discuss what I talk about with her? Like, is she on that level?" And like my exact words, right? And he was like, he's like, nah. And I was like, oh, I was like, never mind then. And at the same account, when I was trying to explain my astral traveling, like some experience I went through, I could feel myself like subconsciously trying to hide. And I was like, hold on. My Okasa and the rest of my family would basically go towards hiding. I know I don't hide. I'm myself no matter who I'm around. Literally. And I looked at things in the factoring of after that at that moment I was like, hold on. At this point I'm trying to not be myself. I'm trying to be some other character, trying to be some other personality, something I'm not. I've done that for way too long. And I just kind of paused, like, no, I'm like, but the same account, I felt kind of uncomfortable talking with his girl, like right there, because she was like, I don't get what you mean when I was like saying, like, I can't really explain it to you. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, no, I could. I could. It was just a factoring of when it comes down to it, sometimes it's not just the concept of being accepted, it's like our concept of hiding, it's the concept of explaining things and people understanding you to the fullest depth of perception. Literally. Like I've spoken to so many people to be myself and they're like, hmm? What? Hmm? Spirits. Frequencies. Hmm? Like for example, I was speaking to someone, right? And I was explaining a vision I had. I'm not allowed to say who. Telepathically speaking, I'm not allowed to say who. And right, I was just talking about a vision I had about just bad, horrible things coming to this world. Like just horrible catastrophes. Just bad all around. And what happened was, whilst I was explaining, they kind of went towards her trying to configure what I was talking about. Or rather, the best way to say it was they were trying to have things explained, but they're trying to put things together, but in their own way of perception, because they weren't on my high vibrational frequency, and I looked at them. I looked at them, and I was like, no, that's not it. So I looked at them. I was like, no, that's not it. I looked at them just like that. literally, and I just was like, come on now, man. Like, no. And I just was like, well, in the terms of entities, and when it comes down to it, there are the ones on the higher realms and the ones on the lower realms. And there's no rankings when it comes down to it. There's no ranking at all. And he keeps saying he, them, it's him, them. It's funny to me because I can't even say. Um, when it came down to it, they just they looked at me and were just trying to just put things together, and I just looked at them like, come on now, like when it comes down to it, I understand you're trying to piece things together in your own ideology because you're not there yet psychologically, you're not there yet spiritually either. But same account, it's like just take things as you hear them. Simply, you can try to put things together to understand things in your own sort of, well, psyche better, because there's that line of confusion when you're not, when you're still asleep. But when it comes down to it, regardless though, it's like explaining that I felt, I don't know, like a fish out of water in a sense. Even towards the dude's girlfriend, when I was explaining, I didn't explain things, but I just felt a bit off. And then I kind of paused, like, hold up, why am I being so secretive in that? So, like, I'm hiding with it, like, I'm trying to speak, I'm trying to say things, but I'm hiding my own words in my words. Like, I'm saying things in a very, like, cryptic way. And I was like, I don't ever do this, so why am I doing this now? And I just kind of looked at it like, when it comes to women, you always kind of have that pausing moment. And I was like, nah, screw that. And I just kind of, I paused at that moment, right? And I just started speaking my truth, saying what I can do, literally. But see, what I've come to understand is when it comes to individuals that are on that vibrational frequency, changing the subject to things that they don't, the things that they understand, is a huge factorization. It's a huge concept, as I've noticed, and it's pretty annoying. It's pretty annoying. But regardless, I never went ahead to just act normal, quote unquote, or to not be myself. Even if I notice myself tripping up, I still remain true to myself at all times. Because, well, if I don't, it's like I'm hiding. It's like I'm going back into hiding, and I hid for way too long. With my empathic abilities, with them growing, feeling it's like I remember the first time I decided I'm not gonna continue hiding, and within myself, and that was I got on Snapchat and I was like, hey guys, I speak on my abilities, and the one thing I recall towards my abilities, right? The first time I awakened, I realized I was awakening to a high degree, right? I got up. I was around. I don't even know who I was around, and I could just feel so much energy. And I was just like, fuck. Literally, like it hit me. It hit me so hard. Sorry, I gotta put my hair up real quick. It hit me so hard. Like, see, I knew that being an empath for my ex was something very difficult at times. Very difficult. But see, I did not know, experiencing my own evolution, my own awakening, how painful it could be. Like, literally being around people with horrible, negative, vampiric energy and just them feeling like them draining you and you just shaking. I never thought I'd feel that. Ever. I never thought that, like, when I was awakening towards me being myself, I stopped being around people who were like that because I was like, I'm not gonna suffer through this bullshit at all. I'm not gonna suffer through it. And I was just like, like I wish I didn't have to really work a job. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because it's like for money, for currency, because it's like it's the worst thing. The worst thing. I don't like feeling energies like that. I really don't. It's such a pain in my ass. I'm pretty sure other empathic individuals would agree with me too. It's literally such a pain. It's like you're in all these energies, feeling all this, just all these people, all this energy, all these different emotions, and it's like you're absorbing everyone's emotions one by one by one by one by one. Sometimes I mean, if you know how to block it, then that's great. If you can masterfully block it. But like, if you're a kind of a beginner like myself, like I mean, I kind of developed like an on switch, which is basically psychologically, spiritually, right? Which is like if I put it on, I'm blocking out energies. If I turn it off, I'm absorbing people's energies, right? And with that being said, right, it came to the point where I just kind of was like, even now, it's like going outside, I feel amazing. Being around people, I notice my body just like blocking people's energies off. I just cross my arms, cross my legs, being very hyper to a certain degree. Trying to release their energy and like looking like, when the hell are you guys gonna leave? Like, honestly, not trying to be a negative person, but like in general, like it just, the more evolved you become, the more you feel, and the more it's like it's not pretty. But again, being yourself, it is amazing when you are your true self. It is truly amazing. And not to ever change yourself for anyone. To be in any sort of certain groups or anything like that. To always remain true and honest to whom you are. Because, well, no one can do that but you. I feel like I ranted a little bit and kind of, you know what? Nah. I got everything I need to get out. That I wanted to get out. But besides that, I hope you guys have a beautiful, lovely night. I'm about to make some dinner for myself because I'm hungry. So I was like, let me just make this video and then get some food. I might have to do that, do dishes and clean up. Nah, screw that. But yeah. And with that being said, I think I'm gonna go now. So, again, it's been a while since I talked to you guys. It's been a while for me. I missed doing the YouTube videos, but same account. With what I'm doing right now, everything I'm learning. So what I'm gonna say before I leave, when it comes down to it, right? If you guys have an amethyst or cellulite crystal, alright, hold up. So, I just got these very, very, very recently from a shop. I was on Twitter and this woman's shop came up. So I was alright, cool. And because I was like, I want to, because I got open my bank account, got that accomplished. Did the credit card shit, and then made my purchases. And I was like, yo, any small businesses that I can buy from? Spiritual businesses that sell, like, crystals and all. Any? Right? And so, cellulite and amethyst crystal, right? Hopefully you guys know the properties of both. Hopefully. I don't really want to explain to us to a degree because I'm not really new to I'm kind of new to like what each one does. But I do know that the cellulite crystal, if I'm not correct, it's either cellulite or craps, one of the other names. Or celestite. Celestite. Or yeah, one of the two. Pretty sure it's cyanide that goes ahead and it recharges other crystals, basically recharges their crystals and powers of their crystals and so on and so forth. But what I learned from both, I'm pretty sure. See this? Yeah, no, it's not celestite. Yeah, it's not celestite. What I noticed from both is that. Well, I said this was gonna be a short video. I was lying. I was lying so hard. I was like, it should be. It should be. Nah. What I noticed is that from both, when it comes down to it, right? So, what I learned is that when you can put both under your pillow, when you go to sleep, right, and your dreams are more vivid, like far more vivid than they usually would be. Not just your dreams, but apparently your psychic abilities are also increased, enhanced to a certain degree. I noticed that, well, see, I have a thing with hearing, so I've noticed that I've been hearing more frequencies lately. Well, or rather, since I put these under my bed, put these under my pillow last night, I noticed that like I was hearing a lot more at work. Like I mean, it was like my ears were just in pain because I was hearing so many frequencies. Like right now, they're just in pain. But yes, so cyanite, pretty sure if I'm not correct, and amethyst. Either one works. I choose to use both because I mean, like I love either going. Sometimes when I'm dreaming, I go to different dimensions, literally, and not just that, but just the dream world and just not being in my body, technically speaking, being my kind of going towards my subconscious, being sent, being given messages by my angels, my guardians, and sending messages, so on and so forth. It's lovely. I don't like being in the 3D. I don't like it at all. But yeah, so I learned. So that's what I learned. That's why I wanted to give you guys that. Hey, if you have these stones or crystals, go ahead and put them under your well, crystals, not stones. Go ahead and put them under your pillow for you to sleep and see what happens. And sometimes, like what happened with me is the dreams were incredibly vivid, and I went towards some subconscious memories, subconscious feelings that I didn't know really were a thing. So it helped me to understand some things. But yeah. With that being said, I have to go now. Alright, so I love you guys. Take my energy. No, this is one to give. Take it. Alright. I will speak to you guys later. My next video won't be for a while. Yeah, until I'm like, when I post is when I post. You guys will see when I post. Okay? I love you guys. You guys are perfect. You guys are beautiful. You guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful. You guys are divine. You guys are splendid. Okay? Always be true to yourself. Always be true to yourself. Always be true to yourself. Always. Never not be who you are. And if you don't know who you are, it's time to do some shadow work. Understand who you are as an entity. It's time to truly examine yourself. Alright? It's not difficult. Kinda is hard. It's a little bit hard, but it's not all that difficult. That kinda doesn't make sense. But I love you guys, and